Recently, I got a comment under one of my Duolingo English Test videos that really caught my attention. Someone wrote, I got 105 and 115, and in my exams tomorrow, can I improve to 120, 125? And honestly, I see this kind of comments all the time. When the exam is close, everyone hopes there is some kind of trick, something that can quickly boost the score. Maybe a special strategy, maybe a template, maybe a secret method. The idea is simple. If I learn the right trick, the exam will suddenly become easier. But here is the problem. After working with many students and seeing many real test results, I noticed something important. Most of the time, tricks don't really work. And today, I want to explain why. First, we need to understand why tricks are so attractive. The reason is simple. Tricks promise a shortcut. Instead of improving your English ability, you just memorize a strategy. For example, some people memorize speaking templates. Others try to guess answers using patterns. Some people even try to analyze the structure of the test questions and find ways to hack the test. This sounds very efficient because learning a trick maybe only take a few minutes, but improving your English ability might take weeks or months. So naturally, many learners prefer tricks. But there's a problem. Language tests are not designed to reward shortcuts. Modern language tests are designed to measure abilities, and this is especially true for the Duolingo English test. The test includes many different task types. For example, fill in the blanks, listen and write, speaking tasks, reading tasks. Each task is trying to measure a specific language ability, not whether you know a trick. Let's look at a few examples. For example, take the fill in the blanks question. Many students think this question is mainly about vocabulary, so they try to memorize more words and hope they can guess the missing word. But the real challenge is more complicated than that. In the real test, you usually have about 20 seconds. Within those 20 seconds, your brain has to do several things at the same time. First, you need to quickly read the entire sentence. Then you need to understand the meaning of the sentence. At the same time, you also need to recognize the grammar structure. For example, is the blank expecting a noun, a verb, an adjective? Sometimes the correct answer is not just about the vocabulary, it depends on how the sentence is structured. So if someone only memorizes tricks but has not practiced the understanding sentence structure, this question can still be very stressful. Another good example is the listen and write task. Many people think they can rely on guessing, but this question is actually testing something very specific. It's testing listening accuracy. The sentence can be quite long, and you can only hear it 3 times. During those 3 plays, your brain needs to process a lot of information. You need to recognize the words, remember the sentence, and write it correctly at the same time. If your listening accuracy is not strong enough, small details can easily be missed. Maybe an ending like s or t. Maybe a small word like or the, and those small details are often where points are lost. This is why tricks rarely work here. The task is simply measuring how accurately you can hear English. Speaking tests are another place where tricks often fail. Many students just memorize templates. For example, this is a very interesting topic. From my perspective, and there are several reasons for this, templates can sometimes help you start speaking, but during the real test, the challenge is not only what you say, the challenge is how quickly you can organize your ideas. In many speaking tasks, you only have a short time to prepare. You need to understand the prompt, decide what to say, and organize your response quickly. If someone only memorizes templates, but has not practiced organizing ideas in English, the response could still sound unnatural. After reading many comments and working with many learners, I actually noticed something very interesting. Many people are actually very hardworking. They study vocabulary, they review grammar, they watch many test preparation videos, and when they take the test, they still feel uncomfortable. So why? Because language ability is not only knowledge. It is also processing speed. You need to understand sentences quickly, you need to hear spoken English clearly, and you need to organize your ideas fast. But these abilities usually come from practice, not from tricks. This is actually one of the reasons why I built the practicing system on my website. Instead of focusing on tricks, these exercises focus on the actual abilities behind the test. For example, there are fill-in-the-blanks exercises to train sentence understanding. There are listen and write exercises to improve listening accuracy. And there are speaking practice tasks to help learners organize their responses more naturally. The goal is not to memorize tricks. The goal is to build abilities that the test is actually mirroring. So do tricks help? Sometimes they help a little, but tricks alone rarely solve the real problem. Language test is designed to measure ability, and ability usually grows through practice, not shortcuts. If you focus only on tricks, your results will always be unstable. But if you build the underlying abilities, your score improvement will be more reliable. And in the long run, that approach is much more powerful than any tricks.